Hi friends, today we will discuss about how to become a 5S lead assessor. We will cover complete training module in 5 different training videos. So don't miss these videos. Cover these 5 videos one by one in a sequence for complete understanding with better clarity. So let's start first part of 5 lead assessor training module. In this part we will cover 5S audit versus 5S assessment. Why 5S assessment? Types of 5S assessment. Documents needed. Assessment tips. Stages of an assessor. Guidelines for assessment. Key questions for assessment. Next, 5S audit versus assessment. 5S audit generally refers to audit by the team or top management on its own system, followed by scoring or rating on internal scale. Mostly document audit is not covered. 5S assessment generally refers to assessment by external agencies, always followed by rating on a standard scale. Document verification is mandatory. Next, why 5S assessment? To find actual status, to assess the gaps, to identify hidden issues, to provide improvement guideline, to facilitate the process. Prepares detailed assessment report points and areas for improvement and send to the organization. Next, types of 5S assessment. Self-assessment, internal assessment, external assessment. Next, self-assessment. Zone members carries out assessments at a stated frequency in their own zone and keep correcting their deviations. Considered as one of the best habits towards sustenance of improvements. Internal assessment. Zone assessments of an organization that are generally carried out by trained internal auditors of other zones of the same organization. Generally, it is done once in a fortnight or month in any organization. Next, external assessment. Assessment of an organization that are carried out by external agency or consultants. Considered as one of the best habits towards sustenance of improvements. Generally, it is done once in year or twice in a year to get a third eye perspective on the 5S system implementation. Next, some of the documents to be considered for document review. 5S manual. Red tag register, disposal policies, compliance records. SOPs. Audit checklists. Internal audit plan, schedule, audit observations or response by zones, list of trained internal auditors. Cleaning schedule or checklists. Improvement projects, cycle time reduction projects, fatigue reduction, Kaizen SGAs, etc. 5S steering committee reviews, meeting minutes, review effectiveness. Training initiatives, records. Documents supporting RNRCSR initiatives. Next, assessment tips. During a 5S assessment, the assessor observes the red tag area and found that for few items the disposal actions was not complied with the stated frequency for disposal. The displayed disposal policy states that items will get disposed from the red tag area within 4 days. The assessor observes 2 of the items, which are there for 6 days, and points out this to the auditee. The auditee told the assessor that the last 2 days were company holidays, and hence could not be complied with the schedule. However, it will be done today. At this situation, how will you proceed as an assessor? Next, stages of an assessor. Stage 1, compliance. Stage 2, adequacy. Stage 3, improvement. Stage 4, value addition. means in compliance stage, means in stage 1, assessor observe the compliance to standard checklist. The assessor checks this and record this as lack of compliance to stated red tag system. In adequacy stage, means in stage 2, starts compliance and also start checking the adequacy of system with the standard checklist and provide guidance. The assessor interacts with the auditee and ensures whether the time for removal is adequate. If yes, he gives suggestion to modify the time and provide some time to him for clearing those items. In improvement stage, means in stage 3, apart from checking compliance and adequacy, assessor starts suggesting improvements and suggestions. The assessor interacts with the auditee and gets the past records of clearance. Now to cases come. All along the zone has not cleared the items on time in more than 70% of the time. Assessor drills down further to get the bottleneck point and highlight to the management. All along the zone has cleared the items on time in more than 70% of the time. Assessor appreciates and gives grace time for completion. Further ask the people to find out the causes and move the compliance to greater than 90%. In value addition stage, assessor brings out hidden issues clearly to the management. Assessment and assessment report attains maturity. His assessment becomes a value-added information to the management. When the compliance is more than 70%, he appreciates and gives a suggestion to change the standard from 4 days to 4 working days. Next, guidelines for assessment. Divide the area into sub-areas or zones. Develop and use an appropriate checklist for the zone. Do some homework. It is always good and keep you trimmed. Look for obvious and not so obvious conditions as per the checklist. Talk to the employees informally and make an assessment of their involvement and motivation. All your senses should be tuned to sense and collect observations. Do not make sarcastic comments and avoid blaming words or criticizing comments or arguments. Next, key questions. When conducting a 5S audit, auditors use key questions to assess the implementation and effectiveness of the 5S methodology within a workplace. The 5S framework includes sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. Here are key questions for each stage. Sort Seri. Are work areas free from unnecessary items? Have items been properly labeled for identification? Is there a systematic process for regularly reviewing and disposing of unnecessary items? Set in order, seat on. Are tools and materials arranged in a logical order for efficient workflow? Is there a designated place for everything? And is everything in its place? Are there clear visual cues or labels for item locations? Shine, say so. Is there a regular cleaning schedule for work areas and equipment? Are cleaning supplies readily available in designated areas? Are employees trained to keep their workstations clean and organized? Standardize, Seiketsu. Are standardized procedures in place for maintaining the first 3 S's? Is there a system for consistently applying and monitoring 5S principles? Are there visual standards and checklists for employees to follow? Sustain, Shitsuke. Is there a culture of continuous improvement and employee involvement? Are there regular 5S training programs for new and existing employees? Is there evidence of long-term commitment to sustaining 5S practices? General 5S audit questions. How well do employees understand the importance of 5S in their daily work? Are there visible signs of leadership support for 5S initiatives? Is there evidence of employee engagement in 5S activities? Are there improvement suggestions and feedback mechanisms in place? Visual management and communication. Are visual cues and signs clear and easy to understand? Are there communication channels for reporting issues related to 5S? Is there documentation demonstrating the progression of 5S initiatives over time? Training and education. Are employees adequately trained on 5S principles and practices? Is there ongoing education to reinforce the importance of 5S? Are there opportunities for employees to participate in 5S improvement projects? Safety. Are 5S practices contributing to a safer work environment? Is there evidence of risk assessments related to 5S activities? Are safety standards integrated into 5S procedures? These questions help auditors evaluate the level of 5S implementation, identify areas for improvement, and ensure the sustainability of the 5S practices within the organization. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to download all training material for your reference. Thank you so much for tuning into today's training. I hope you found the information valuable and that it adds value to your industry or skills.